Sup, Nev? Look at my little birdie. He's awesome. Gives my whole parties +1 sleight of hand. It's so cool. It's Port Mage Guard. More guards. Where is the governor? There he is.
Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valiant Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port March.
He spreads his hands in a subdued flourish.
I'd like to say the pleasure's all mine, but I try not to lie. Don't worry, I'm only here on account of him.
She bobs her head in your direction.
Of course. I see you've been as quick to involve yourself as ever.
Clario's tone is polite, but there's a strained edge to his wide smile as he turns from Jody to address you.
Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times, and people often react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge.
He spreads his hands in an apologetic gesture. Strange events?
A few, well, quite a few people here in Port Marge claim to have seen a giant of some kind during the storm.
Clario winces.
I would call it a flight of fancy, but unless something has tainted every well in the region, I do not think it can be ignored. But then, the Deadfire is a land full of such things. You must have heard the stories.
That wasn't a giant. That was Aothus. The governor mouths a voiceless ah of understanding and studies you for a moment.
You'll find good company among the Dawn Stars here in town. They have all manner of theories concerning the behemoth.
He rifles casually through a few papers.
Now, to the matter of your ship. You're stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those berthed in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn.
I'm the Lord of Cadnua. Couldn't I owe you a favor?
Cadnua? A dear wooden castle, is it? An interesting proposal, to be sure, but I'm afraid the matter at hand is rather urgent. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them. There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. In point of fact, it's the very reason any of us are here. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade?
I'm a watcher. I've dealt with Audra before.
Are you indeed? How very interesting.
For a moment, Clario appears entirely distracted from his point, regarding you with an uncomfortably intense degree of interest.
Do you know, they'd have a great deal of interest in speaking with you at headquarters. Something to consider.
He finally breaks from his musings and flaps a hand to dismiss the subject. One sec.
Well, luminous Adra is to Adra what a fine wine is to, well, never mind that. The point is that it is a particularly potent material, suffused with essence, and it is only found right here in the Deadfire archipelago. It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing.
Wait, you mean you're trading in souls?
That's a colorful way of putting it. Energy, really, is more apt. It's not quite a matter of digging up the spirit of your old grandmother.
Clario lets out a short, breathy laugh, shaking his head slightly.
Spin it however you like. The gods are gonna grind your soul to bits for this sin.
We will have to agree to disagree. And I hope you understand that these matters require some discretion, have one such outpost on the other side of the island. A successful venture, up until very recently. We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise. And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that a giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that?
Alright, good night, Nick. Thanks for stopping by.
We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk. Which is where you come in. You need a ship, I need information. See to this for me, and I'll set half the town to work. We'll patch up your ship, and you'll be free to go on your way.
Yeah, I can do that.
Gelade, then we are agreed. I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map, here.
You'll do it for the Watcher, but not for me? I see how it is.
With a discontented sound, she crosses her arms over her chest.
Yes. Why wouldn't I want a pack of Dawn Stars crawling over my Adra mine in search of their lost deity?
Clario darts a quick, sour look in Zoti's direction.
One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me. What can I do for you?
Can you tell me more about Port Mage?
Certainly.
Clario stands up a little straighter and clears his throat.
It may not have the grandeur of Ostia or Enchense, but I am proud of what we have created here. We've established strong supply lines, and our research rivals any performed in the Republics on better days.
What about the Juana?
They keep to themselves for the most part. We have little reason to interfere, and any Juana willing to work are paid for it. We get a few of those. Perhaps village life is too simple for them. They say things are very different under Queen Onekaza II. She has unified many of the Juana under her banner. Ikawa is one of the last holdouts. It works fine for our purposes. She is easier to negotiate with.
But why build an outpost here in the first place?
Scouts reported finding Ingwithan ruins along with a promising Adra vein, and the locals were welcoming enough. Any venture of this size is difficult. Even so, the hard part was not convincing people to join us, but weeding out undesirable individuals. We lowered our standards in the end.
Clario smiles wryly. Are there many outposts in the Deadfire?
Out there, you'll find yourself a rarity. It is an interesting feeling. The lands here belong to the Juana, for now. If you ask the Royal Deadfire Company, that will not last.
Clario mutters under his breath, running a hand over his scalp. The Royal Deadfire Company?
Dispatched by the Ranganui of Rawatai himself. That would be their emperor, or king, perhaps. If you have any questions at all, really, at your pleasure.
Clario sets his arms behind his back, watching you with an expectant smile.
Yes? Something you need?
Alright. Let's see, we gotta do a bunch of shit. Reach the dig site. We've got to reach the Engwithan dig site. We've got to find Mokeha. And Travel to Gorecki Street. It'll take you 54 minutes to complete your journey from Port Mage to Gorecki Street. Accept. As you make your way along the side streets of Port Mage, you come across visible traces of the storm's passing. Many of the houses here boast cracked window panes and sagged awnings, as you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still slick with water and silt. Before long, you are ankle-deep in sucking mud and loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water level rises to the knees. Most of Port Mage's residents, I'm retarded, have fled this region for dry land. But the murmur of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash suggests that you are not entirely alone. Oh, okay. Shit. Let's give him one of these.
Fair?
Will do.
Darkest before dawn, +1 perception, and ability activates when near death. Huh. Not sure how useful that's gonna be, but whatever, I'll equip it.
That's something, huh? Sure.
Let's see. Got some copper, hunting bow, clothing, hatchet. Not really anything super useful. I also have to check what this chick is wearing. A sickle and a lantern. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Not a whole lot in the way of stuff there. Alright. Cool with me.
Happy to oblige. All right.
Let's go talk to this spirit.
Not happening.
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
I'm sorry, but you're dead. Come with me. I'll help you.
Dead? Oh, but this is terrible.
The spirit sighs, wispy shoulders slumping.
Let me ease this one's pain, Watcher.
Dark eyes solemn, Zodi circles her lantern around the departed soul.
Yeah, sure thing.
Nothing but endless grey mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
Turns out there's a lot they don't tell you.
You seem to know where you are going.
The soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Watcher, you're talking to a lost soul, aren't you? I'll just shine them the light real quick.
The lantern rattles as Zodi swings it over zealously between you, siphoning the spirit's essence.
Got a weight in my lantern now. Almost feel like I can hear the soul when I jostle it around.
Should you be swearing so much as a priestess?
Reckon not.
She grins wide and confident.
But I can't help but be a touch wayward. I don't take it too far. My mom caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
She waggles her sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
Adair points affably in approval.
Tell me what's on your mind?
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did, recently with you.
What?
You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Aora's end.
Her face alights with a fierceness.
I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness.
What's your thoughts on Aethys?
We talking during the Saints' War, or after he died?
Zodi taps a finger to her lips and hums thoughtfully. What's the difference?
Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died.
Adair points affably in approval.
And I think a part of him did. The part he'd most closely woven into living flesh. The part that represented life and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death.
Tell me about Aethys leading up to and during the Saints' War.
I really only know what my folks taught me.
She scratches the back of her head, hesitant.
Aethys embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my high priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone. And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Obsidian, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god.
What's your take on Aethys following the Saints' War?
Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was, not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening. You need me, I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
Not much cause to come out this way unless you're looking for trouble. Though you've found it.
The young elf's hand drops to the pistol in his belt, palming the grip. The faintest hint of a sneer plays about his lips as he watches you, unblinking. Savia sent me. She needs you to put a stop to the looting. Ilari snorts, his nose wrinkling. He regards you for a moment longer in expected silence. Then he throws his head back, letting out a braying, unpleasant laugh.
Merle, she must be desperate. Not so desperate as to come here on her knees to beg for herself, but she sent you. No, there's my answer. I get my cut. There's no sense in ruining a good thing.
Help her out this once and Savia will owe you a favor.
A favor? Merle, I should buy her dinner, maybe.
Mid-chortle, Ilari's brow draws together. He runs a thumb along his jaw, frowning.
Done. I'll do it. Bon Piaco. Can't be too bad, having a commander in your pocket. Tell Savia this isn't permanent. Second the water clears up and things are back to normal, we're through. I'll spread the word. Gorechi Street is under lawful protection now.
Cool.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
I convinced Ilari to keep watch on Gorechi Street.
Perfetto. He's a little shitne, but a lazy one. He will not cause trouble if he does not have to. Easier to work with a familiar face for the moment. I can deal with him later. So, we have one small part of Port Mage under control. A good start. Well, here you are, for your time. If I had 10 men like you, the whole of Port Mage would be set right within the week.
You have gained 1100 copper. Nice. Level up. Shit yeah. More athletics and more intimidate. Oh, do I want more intimidate? Do I want to go with more diplomacy? It's metaphysics. Yeah, sure, metaphysics. Let's figure that shit out. Fuck it, why not? Power level 2 is unlocked at character level 4 for multi-class characters. Alright, that's fine. A little bit slower, but I'll get them. I don't think I want any of those. Screw it, I'll take Sworn Enemy. Alright, weapon and shield style, because he's a tank, so of course. And then fighter stances. Nice. Go Adair. Be the tanky son bitch we need. Get more arcana. More religion. Oh shit. Choose an ability. Restore, already have. What's monk got? The level up is
Sure.
done. So... Satahuzi, do I need to go there? Okay, done that. Moheka. Angwithin. Well, let's figure out what's going on up here. Satahuzi. Accept. Seated upon a chair before the bonfire, Ikawa looks considerably more comfortable here than in her home village. She prods absently at the coals with a long stick. Ikawa's lined face is pocked with fading scars, but there's no hostility in her calm appraisal as you approach.
I have had it shown to me on a map, the lands at the edge of the world. I did not ever think to meet a man from such a place. They told me what became of your ship. I say again that you are lucky. It is the only ship that survives. I could protect Port Mage, or else its ships, but not both. Perhaps Clario thinks I chose poorly.
Mokehawa is causing trouble in town. Kawa sighs deeply and folds her hands in her lap.
Mokeha is proud, like her father. Each day this alliance tests her patience. What has happened?
She nearly killed a man.
Mokeha could have killed him, if she wished to. Is it not enough that he lives?
She lives in your village, she's your responsibility.
If you wish something from Mokeha, my advice is to trade for it. Is that not how the outsiders get everything they need? It is late, outsider. Get some rest.
What for do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep?
The Amo woman steps sideways, angling herself towards you and meets your gaze with an intense stare.
I do not know you.
Her voice is quiet, but each word is clipped and harsh.
You were looking for Kawa?
Rinko says that you robbed him during a card game.
Rinko?
She scoffs in a guttural burst of sound.
The Valian? You jest, Akira. I should have thrown him into the sea. He dares to call me a thief?
Last warning, I won't go down as easily as Rinko. Every trace of contemptuous amusement vanishes at once from Mokehawa's face.
You come to our territory under the Elder's Eye to threaten us? When you are dead, I will throw your carcass to the sharks.
I feel like that was a bad choice, and I kind of want to load it. I don't really want to start a turf war. To reload. For the record, I won't do that all the time. Just when I'm about to start a fucking war between
What
a
for
village.
do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep? What for do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep? I do not
You were
know
looking for a call. Rinko, the Valian?
Why don't you tell me what really
jesting.
happened?
What else? The Valians are fools. But Akawa wishes to trade, so we must be patient. We must save them from Nagate's storms, even when they ignore our advice. Ikawa told me I should see the tavern, speak with their people, learn patience. The trader Eophania, she taught me to play Valian cards. A simple game, but none would play with me in the tavern. Not until Rinko. I thought him kind until I proved the victor, and he grew angry. Until he stood in front of his kin and called me a Mataru of Sadahuzi, a filthy islander and a cheat. For that, yes, I beat him. Why does this concern you?
You should have told the guards. You've been branded a thief.
I am no thief. Do you mean to insult me? I am Mataru. I am the guard in Sadahuzi. I defend this village. If I see fit to punish a man, it is my duty.
Without that coin, Rinko will lose his home.
Don't be foolish. Clario will see to him.
Rinko has a child to feed. It's not as if you need his money.
Why did this not prevent him playing at cards in the first place? Are all Valians so mad for coin? So then, what am I to do? I did not wish him dead.
I think people usually apologize for this sort of thing.
I will not. But I will ask Akawa to send a healer. Perhaps that will quiet his whimpering. Here, take it. I have no need for his Valian coin.
She hands you a small leather coin purse and then turns to stride away without another word. You have gained an item, Rinko's coin purse. Let's put into your stash. Good enough for me. I dig it. Can I rest here? Resting is not allowed in this area. Okay. I will go to Rinko's home.
Most days I'd fire up the kettle for you or something. Sorry.
I spoke to Makea. She claims that she won fairly and you insulted her.
A surprise! The brute speaks! And you have survived the conversation in one piece. Merla, perhaps my tongue was loosened by drink. What of it? Is any man who insults the savage's pride due a beating? The law is on my side.
Confess to Dharma, or spend the rest of your sorry life eating nothing but soup. Rinko stares up at you, his eyes wide. His hands grip tightly at the sheets.
It is not enough that she has ruined me. Now you threaten me in my home. Please, for the sake of my son, I will tell the guards the truth. I swear it. I must hope that Clario's dogs will be more merciful than you. The moment the ship arrives, I will take my family back to Ostia.
Alright. Do I still have his bag, though? Cool. Take his fucking gold. Or money, whatever. Copper pieces, whatever it's called. Alright. Dig site time. Well, that's where that is. Okay. Let's see what the woods are about first, though. Thick woodlands spread to the east of Port Mage, slowing your travel. Birds flitter above you and insects drone incessantly. The path eventually gives way to a game trail, then to no path at all. You find a curiously marked tree, the bark gouged away in a pattern. The striations seem to run upward from right to left, just shy of vertical. Let's examine the markings. Choose a party member. Adair. Adair examines the gashes in the wood, then plucks a tuft of hair from the side of the tree. Wild boar did this. Adair taps the tree. Look at this! A sigil has been slightly carved into the wood, so faint as it is almost imperceptible. Continue cautiously forward. You press carefully into the forest, your clothes damp with the humidity and the water dripping from the trees above. A quiet rustling in the underbrush draws your attention northward, deeper into the forest. I'm going to hide in the undergrowth. You duck silently behind a log and still your breathing. Whatever's making the sound draws near. Through a gap in the foliage, you make out a tall island Auma, standing along a small sounder of wild boars. Matted copper and hair hangs over his features, and a boar hides drape his frame. Boar hides drape his frame. Despite his presence, the swine seem entirely at ease. Greetings. The man stands abruptly, spitting on you, his staff raised as if ready to strike. Ikera! A Juana term of agreement and emphasis. Then who are you? For what are you here? The Juana language thickens his accent. Is this going to be combat now? Adair perks up at the sight of the boars, alternating imitating their grunts and chuckling. Only at length, in what appears to be heel-dragging afterthought, does his attention at last turn to the strange man in the midst. Dirt darkens the folds of the man's skin, his lips curled over jagged teeth. He waves a stick at you.
No, never talk. Just go. Leave this forest. Go leave these islands. Go return from where you've been.
His Adiran is haunting, the language thick in his mouth. I mean you no harm. Can't we just talk?
Said as if a word never hurts a person. You go. Speak quickly, then. Your words disturb this place.
What are you doing out here with all these boars?
Learning. The boar teach much about survival, if one listens, if one watches. So sing.
He
so
frowns.
Say those who know.
Those who know? Who would that be?
This question helps neither of us, I say.
Well, it sounds like you're speaking of Galawain.
Always you foreign sorts speak of your changing god. I say you know nothing of change, and less of the hunt.
It's not been a very productive exchange, has it? The man's eyes narrow. Look, I just want to pass through the forest.
No, your sort always want. This forest is not yours. This land is not yours. Go, leave.
I'm hunting a god. If I fail, your islands will not be spared his wrath. The man frowns, then pulls a leather-wrapped pouch from within his belongings. Hands shaking, he hands them to you. You've gained an item, a wise teeth necklace. This item is put into your stash.
Then go, take this. They protect you if you speak true. They tear out your throat if no.
He dismisses you with a wave. Int, history, and insight. Well, I guess I'll... Oh, what's Adair using? Oh, okay. This chick gets an item upgrade.
I sure do like it.
Always wanting more. I've given you what you asked for. You go now.
Alright. I'm going to call it a night here. 1. Save. Gonna call it a night here. And, yeah. Stream more tomorrow. But I am tired. So I'm gonna go have a nap. And then fire some missiles. So, see you tomorrow.